these snippets and these teachings are to help us think on purpose. Not so much as about our purpose and destiny, but about being deliberate, intentional, and focusing your thoughts. Remember, our thoughts are designed to serve us and not vice versa. For some of you who don't know, I do business coaching, I do speaking engagements. I love doing workshops. Workshops are the absolute best to me. I love to help facilitate aha moments so that at the end of the day, even though you may have seen me, the revelations and the inspirations that you have that day that will stick with you long after I'm gone, that is what I love the most, because if there's change and shifts that happen within individuals, that's how you impact the world, little by little, day by day. It's not one great big event. It is about being consistent and doing things consistently. What a lot of you may not know is that I am certified through John Maxwell, and John Maxwell has something that's called the leadership game. Lots of companies use this game to do leadership training, to have masterminds, to really stimulate dialogue and foster conversations about leadership, about problem solving, about perspective, about how you look at something. And it's really good because what happens is, as people begin to answer, the collaboration and the encouragement begins to come amongst peers. Peers, whether they're your colleagues, whether they're students, whether it's a group of businessmen, a group of CEOs, a group of executives, whoever it is, that synergy begins to move and get momentum. And all of a sudden, everybody is leaning toward and moving forward in solution-oriented things. And so yesterday I was able to do something that was awesomely exciting with a group of dynamic John Maxwell team members and a group of dynamic young men that brought so much to the table. It was a blessing to everybody involved. But one of the questions that was asked in personal leadership is, when other individuals criticize you, is your first reaction to dismiss what's said, to defend yourself, or to fight back? And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today as it relates to personal leadership. Personal leadership is how you lead yourself. It's how you respond and how you interact yourself. It's not the leadership that someone else is telling you what to do. It's not the leadership where you're following somebody else's course of action or somebody else's tenets or principles. It's personal leadership. And personal leadership is what governs your life. And so it made me think about, is my first reaction to dismiss what's said? And if so, why? What makes it so easy to dismiss? Is my reaction to defend myself, hey, you parked over the line? Is my first reaction to be like, so everybody parks over the line? What's your first reaction and why? Or is your thing to hit back? Hey, you parked over the line. Oh, so you're the driving police now, make it a personal thing, instead of just actually looking at the facts. And here's the thing with personal leadership. Personal leadership is really about you. It's about you. It's about you and your life. And anybody can drive a car. Some things are easy. Facebook makes it easy for us all to weigh in and say this or do this or have opinions. Facebook, social media makes it easy for us to do all of that. But when no one else is around, your personal leadership will be what is a defining measure. It is a defining measure of your life, on the trajectory of your life, on the impact of your life, on the influence of your life. Your personal leadership is very, 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 very important. So I said all that to say, here's the nuts and bolts. You ready? With personal leadership, you want to become a person of influence. Anybody can steer. Leaders don't just steer, though. They chart their course. A leader charts the course. So instead of just steering, following directions, a leader charts the course and says, hey, this is the way we want to go. Hey, this is the way we're going to go. A leader takes the time to chart out, to navigate a course and say from point A to point B to point C to point D, and so on and so forth. A leader charts the course. So in personal leadership, chart your life, chart the course. Don't just steer. Don't just only be behind the wheel steering. Because here's the thing. How many of us, when we were kids, just get with me, when we were kids and you're like, Daddy, let me drive. Or Mama, let me drive. Or your older sibling let you drive. But when you were driving, what you were doing was you were sitting on their lap and you had your hands on the wheel, but they were controlling stop, go, how fast you go. what gear you in. Everybody, they were controlling everything. The only thing you were controlling as you were on their lap was the steering wheel. And that's what I'm saying. Anybody can steer. You can steer at age 2, at age 1. But the driver, the person whose lap you're sitting on, they're actually driving they're driving that vehicle. You think you're driving, but you're not driving, you're just steering. So anybody can steer. And so as a kid, we'll be like, I got to drive home, and we're excited because we got to drive home. But the real leader, the real person in authority, the real person that was operating that vehicle is the person whose lap you were sitting on. And as a leader with personal leadership, you want to be the person who's actually driving the vehicle. You drive your own vehicle. And another thing I wanted to say about when others criticize you is this. I learned this when I was refereeing basketball, and I'm just going to call it facts and 3 papers. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm going to call it facts and 3 pieces of paper. It said, get 3 pieces of paper, 3 blank pieces of paper. On one piece of paper, write down what was said. What was the facts of what was said? Hey, you didn't get the job because you don't have a degree, you're late all the time, Timmy doesn't like you, or somebody else was a better fit. So write down all of the facts. And remember, facts and truth are not always synonymous. So just write down the facts. And now, on the second piece of paper, wrote down who. Who said it? Who knows it was said? Who heard about it? Who was there? Who was present? Like, write down all the who's. Write down all the who's. And on that third piece of paper, write down all the hows. That's how you felt. That's how it was said. How fast it got around. Write down all the hows. And then look at it. And look at your who's and look at your hows. And you're going to feel a whole bunch of emotion over who said it, because I don't like them anyway. They always talk to me crazy, or, they didn't have to say it in front of these people. Look how they did this. That's not the right way to do it. See, what that is that is us fighting back and defending ourselves. That's us trying to dismiss what was actually on that first piece of paper, which is the facts. Okay? This is not about being glitz and glamour right now. This is just real time, me actually speaking with individuals in the group. And so I want you to take away that who page and that how page. So who said it, who knows about it, if you're embarrassed, feelings, everything that comes with who, and how it was done. That's not the right way. That was unprofessional. I don't like how they said it. They could have done it better. So all your who's and all your how's, you take those 2 pieces of paper, look at them, feel it, do whatever you want to do with it, and then ball them up and throw them away, because you can't control any of that. In personal leadership, what you want to deal with is that very first piece of paper, which is, what are the facts? What are the facts? As it relates to this video, is it a fact that I parked over the line, or someone parked over the line? Is that the fact? It doesn't matter who said it to me or how they said it to me. Personal leadership is what you can control, what you can steer, what you can do. I can do a better job parking. You can do a better job parking. We can do a better job parking. How? You didn't get the job. Somebody else was a better fit. You have an attendance problem where you don't come to work. You miss a lot of days of work. So instead of being mad at who got the job or how they let everybody know they got the job, whether it was a memo or a chain email and everybody knows you didn't get it, all the who's and the how's, get rid of that. Personal leadership is focusing on what you can control. Everything else is an illusion anyway. You really can't control other people. How do you respond when it doesn't go your way? How do you respond when it doesn't go your way? So personal leadership with a job or a promotion that maybe you did not receive is, what can I do differently? What can I do differently? Can I come to work more? Can I miss less time at work? If the times that I missed work were unavoidable, can I work late on another day? Can I come to work on a day that I'm normally not here? Can I work in flexible hours? Like, what can you do with personal leadership? So many people in life are derailed and distracted by the who's and the how's, when the personal leadership will actually adjust, shift, and transition you into the influence and the authority that you desire as part of your growth in life. If you're only focusing on who's and how's, you're missing the race. You're missing the race. And I don't want you to get to the end of your days with a bunch of stories about who's and how's and miss the victories that come with personal relationships by adjusting facts and changing facts that you have the power to change. We have the power to change facts. So when we get stuck in our who's and how's, that's when we look at what we're thinking about and look at what we're focusing on, and we make a shift. That's when we decide, no, I'm going to think on purpose. Instead of thinking about how it was done, the moment you ball up that piece of paper and throw it away, begin to think about how I can do it differently. How can I shift this? How can I do this differently? How can I impact this situation? How can I influence this situation? How can I bring my skill set and my unique things that I've experienced in life to bear in this situation and have it work in a way that works on my behalf, that benefits me, that helps me grow as a person? Today, we're talking about personal leadership. Personal leadership, not the stuff everyone else sees, but personal leadership. How soon, how long does it take you to get over a funky attitude? Personal leadership. How long does it take you to get back on the horse and go, to get back on the giddy up when you've experienced a disappointment? Personal leadership, not where someone is gassing your head or pulling you along. Because when things get tough sometimes in life, everybody has to swim on their own. Everybody can't be on your back when things are getting tough. So personal leadership, develop the personal leadership in the moments that you can. Develop personal leadership in times of things being good, so that when things get crazy, your personal leadership has been developed enough that you can that it can benefit you and it can benefit those you love, and you can be an example. You can be you can be steady in times of chaos. Today we're talking about personal leadership. Personal leadership. Not what people see on Facebook, not what people see when we're in a group together, not what people see when we're all saying, well, this is what I would do, or telling somebody this is what you should do or what you need to do. Personal leadership deals with us. Personal leadership deals with me. Personal leadership deals with you when no one knows. Personal leadership deals with the things when your intentions are lying to you because they're not lining up with your actions. Personal leadership is what we're talking about. And I just want to encourage you, as you begin to grow, say there's this line right here. Everything is a line. And you decide you want to grow. And you begin to grow up like this. That makes you more visible. And when you become more visible, if everybody's on this line and you decide you want to do something different, and you begin to move up like this, you begin to move forward, you're doing something different because you are breaking this line, this plane. Most of the people who are at this plane, they're going to look at you. And some are going to look at you and say, man, I'm going to do that too. If she can do it, I can do it. Some are going to look at you and say, who does she think she is? She always talking. She always doing this. But here's the point. You cannot be focused on what they're saying because you're moving up. And if you're moving up, but you're looking behind, you're going to fall. You're not going to see where you're going. You're traveling blind because you're looking at the wrong thing. Personal leadership focuses on you growing. Know that people talking about you or people looking at you, the visibility you're going to have, that just comes with. Don't let it derail you. There's another saying John Maxwell says, and it just says, when you get kicked in the rear, you're out in front. When you get kicked in the rear, you're out in front. Life is going to deal you some blows. Something's going to happen where you're going to be like, man, I got my butt kicked today. This was real life today. Something happened today. But here's the thing. If you're not a leader, no one can kick you in your back. So you just hold your form and you keep moving forward. This is Sharyn Combs, UCDI, Think on Purpose. There's been a lot of content in this. Please share this video. Please listen to it again. And this is about personal leadership. Go for it. It's Thursday, guys. Keep killing the game. Don't be derailed by what others say. Don't be derailed by the hows, and don't be derailed by the who's. How they said it, who said it, what will they think? All of those things, none of that. Focus on the facts, little by little, line upon line, precept upon precept, inch by inch, yard by yard, day by day, block by block, moment by moment. Keep moving, keep growing, keep being consistent. Focus on the facts that you can change, the things you can adjust, and make adjustments where necessary so that you are a better version of yourself tomorrow than you are today, and today than you were yesterday. You can do this. Think on purpose. Are there any questions? I don't see any questions in the chat box, and I don't see any questions on the Zoom either. Again, guys, it's Thursday. Kill it, crush it, boom, boom, crush it. Crush it over these next 2 days. This video has been a little timely, but hey, life is good. Life is good. This is about personal leadership. Let's look at ourselves, okay? Let's look at ourselves and see what we can do better. I want to encourage you and remind you, be a blessing to somebody, be kind to somebody, do something for someone without looking for, some type of kickback on the other side. Just do something that adds value.